It is Christmas Eve. Okay, not really. It is better than Christmas Eve because tomorrow we're getting our Caravan. So we thought for this week's episode, the best thing to do would be to show you our tow vehicle. We've just about got it set up. Not everything's right and ready to go. Still got a few things to do, but I thought I could walk you through and show you everything we've done so far and what we plan to do. So this is the rear of the vehicle, and what we've got here is we've got a drawer ready to go with our tools in it. So for tools on the road, you might have seen during the week we posted a video and a list of everything we plan to take and talked about it in last week's episode. On the left, we've got a drawer for groceries, so long life milk, flour, things like that that are perhaps heavy and long-term storage will be within the car. We've got a fridge slide, picked up a $200 fridge slide online, which seems a pretty good quality. I've got a Ryobi charger sitting there, and in here, in our side wings, which we've installed, we've got room for our battery. And if you remember in a previous episode, we've pre-wired everything into the car, ready to go, and that's enabled me to install the side wings as well as the drawers. Inside that space, we're going to be installing a lithium Pro Power battery, and this is one I've bought online at eBay. It costs just under $1,000. It's a lot of money. When I was looking at power and batteries, my initial thought was to put in a AGM battery. However, at 35 kilos, and the best part of say $500 for a reasonable one, only to be able to get close to say 50 to 60 usable amp hours, lithium for twice the price actually gives me a lot more power. So lithium batteries, you can charge all the way down to 80% of their sticker price. So you can see here we've got 110 amp hours, what I'm referring to as sticker price. We can actually go down to 88 amp hours drawn out of this battery, which should give us maybe 3.5 to 4 days worth of power. An AGM battery of the same would only give us 55 amp hours. So not only is there a lot of weight savings, there's also a lot of extra power that comes out of a lithium battery. Other benefits as well are that the lithium batteries actually charge a lot faster than an AGM battery, so they can take in a lot more amps a lot faster. The downside, the price. It's way more expensive than AGM, but given we've got all this stuff within the car, we thought if we could save some kilos by investing in a little bit more, we're actually thinking about putting in 2 batteries at one stage, so it actually worked out pretty well, that it was worth doing. How are we going to charge it? We've got a Red Arc DC-DC charger. Now on this big lap of Australia, we're going to be working with Red Arc, so you're going to see a little bit of what we've done with them in the Caravan as well as in the car. And this DC-DC charger is going to allow us to use a solar blanket to charge the auxiliary battery as well as power from the car. This is a really great way to control and manage the life of your batteries. In here we've got our solar blanket. We've got a 190 watt solar blanket, which we're going to be able to use not only to power our auxiliary battery here in the car, we can use it for the Caravan, and we're also putting an Anderson plug on the main battery of the vehicle, so if you ever do get flat, we've got an option of using a solar power blanket to actually charge the mains battery. Inside the front drawer I've got some recovery gear, so in here I've got everything from tyre pressure gauges to jack through to snatch ropes, tackle block, D-shackles, a few other little bits and pieces which I'll show you as we travel, hopefully never to be used and always to be in pristine condition. I've got 2 20 litre water containers in the back, so to give us some water and extra storage of water. And up top we've got one of these chairs. We're going to pull it out. Okay, so these are our Austrail RV Travelmate chairs, and we're working with Austrail on this trip. And what you can see here is we've got a holder for a drink as well as a mobile phone. We've got a bottle opener, there's a zip as well. And it's a nice sized chair for a roadside stop or perhaps at the beach, anything like that. However, if I pull it in a little bit and I flip this over, we've actually got a table, a nice hard surface. So that can be a drinks table or perhaps a dinner table when we're stopped in a camp. So that's the Austrail chair. What we're going to do is we're going to go around the side of the vehicle. I'm going to show you what we've got in here. So for the front of the car, I wanted to have a couple of gauges. One to be able to track how the overall auxiliary battery is performing. So I've got a Red Arc dual voltage gauge here, and this is going to show me not only the current volts in the battery, but it's also going to show me amps going into the battery. The idea there being, once I've connected up that solar blanket, I'll be able to get an idea of how fast I'm replenishing the power within that battery. I've also got an air pressure gauge. So this actually has two different air pressure gauges inside it, and what this does is at the rear of the vehicle I've got airbags. So have a look down here. We can see here we've got airbags missing a little valve, so that's a good start. I'm going to replace that as well. And the idea behind that is that when we're towing the Caravan, to help reduce the sag at the rear, we can up the air pressure in the back of the suspension. So I'll be able to see inside the front here what we're looking at in terms of air pressure for each of those airbags. How am I going to mount them? I picked this up on eBay. It's $115 or thereabouts, and this is actually a pillar pod, and this is going to fit up here. You'll be able to see how that fits up against the side here of the vehicle. So the idea is that that replaces the existing pillar, and I'll be able to have my two gauges mounted up here on the dash, nice and easy to see. So I'll be able to see how the air pressure is in the rear. I'm also able to see how my volts are going overall. I can just check that at any point in time. Let's go around the other side of the car. Something else that's going to be pretty important on the road is phone coverage, and we're going to be doing homeschooling on the road, and I'm going to be trying to do a little bit of work on the road as well. And we've got a Selfie Go mobile unit, and this is going to be installed behind the seats here. We've got an internal antenna, we've got the Selfie Go, and we've also got a Trucker Edge black antenna. So this is going to be installed on the front here with the CB radio. So this will be nice fun for Steph as we travel around Australia. So you're going to be able to see that on the front of the car. So we'll have two aerials. We'll have the CB aerial, and we'll also have the Selfie Go aerial, which should be able to up the coverage as we travel around Australia. So I'm going to pop that back inside the car. Let's have a look in the front seat. Now, we're going to be towing our Caravan all year, and I looked really hard at the clear view mirrors, but I ended up saving some money and going with the Malenko mirrors. I actually got these ones for $99 online. That included shipping. And these will actually strap using the extension bars. These will actually strap on the outside of the vehicle. So these will be added. These will be added here next to the existing mirror, giving me a nice clear view behind. The clear view mirrors look fantastic, but the price of them was quite annoying. Now, in my Land Cruiser here, and I've never had this before, I've actually got automatic down on the mirrors. So when I go into reverse, the mirrors actually adjust to look down. They also have auto power fold, so I've got the ability to close the mirrors and fold them in. And by taking one of the clear view mirrors or those types of mirrors, I wouldn't have that functionality anymore. And for me, that was too much fun not to pass up, basically. So I decided not to do that. Let's have a look on the roof. We've got an Austrail awning here, and this Austrail awning, we've had it out already. It looks great. It's a 2.5 metre awning, which will come out for 2 metres. And if we go to the beach, we go fishing, something like that, we're going to be able to pull that awning out and sit under that, and hopefully with our fridge, with all the solar power we've got, we're going to have a pretty good time sitting on our chairs, having a fish or having a beer as we travel around Australia. On top, we've got a roof tray, and the idea behind this tray is as we get up to the north, we're going to be able to put camping gear up on top if we leave the Caravan behind, and we're going to be able to go off into the bush just in the car and go and explore some of the harder to get to spots around Australia. So that's it, that's the tow vehicle. We are all set up. In the previous episodes, you've seen how we've had the car weighed. We've had the car, when we poured it, it had the upgraded GCM and GVM, so we think we're going to be okay on the weight. So I've weighed everything that's gone in there, so I'm pretty confident that when we add our Caravan towable weight, which is going to be somewhere between 220 and 260 kilos, add the family and perhaps fill up the water, we're going to be okay for our lap around Australia.
In next week's episode, we're going to fill this gap in our driveway.